During President Donald Trump's administration, one of the most significant and closely watched diplomatic episodes unfolded when the United States Special Envoy for Ukraine traveled to engage directly with representatives of Russian President Vladimir Putin. It was a time marked by escalating tensions, not only in Eastern Europe but across the world, as the conflict in Ukraine dragged on, devastating cities, displacing millions, and putting the international order under severe strain. Ukraine's future, Europe's stability, and even the credibility of Western alliances like NATO were increasingly seen as intertwined with the outcome of this brutal and complex confrontation. Against this volatile backdrop, President Trump's foreign policy approach, emphasizing personal diplomacy, bold negotiation tactics, and often controversial engagement with traditional adversaries, came into sharp focus. Trump had long promised that his unconventional methods would lead to breakthroughs where past administrations had failed, and this meeting was positioned as a critical test of that theory. As the special envoy sat across from seasoned Russian officials, both sides entered the talks carrying heavy burdens. For the United States, the imperative to defend democratic values and international law. For Russia, the chance to reshape regional dynamics and challenge the Western-dominated order. The stakes could not have been higher. On the ground in Ukraine, ordinary citizens hoped for a miracle, for an end to the shelling, the shortages, the fear that had become a daily reality. In the corridors of power from Washington to Brussels, leaders debated whether Trump's outreach would lead to a durable peace settlement or whether it risked legitimizing aggression and rewarding the use of force. Analysts warned that any misstep could embolden not just Russia, but authoritarian regimes worldwide, setting a dangerous precedent for how territorial disputes could be resolved, or escalated. Meanwhile, Trump's critics at home questioned the motivations behind the meeting, pointing to broader concerns about his administration's relationship with Moscow, while his supporters hailed it as a brave and necessary step toward de-escalation. As the talks progressed, signs of hope appeared, with discussions around ceasefires, prisoner exchanges, and tentative steps towards political solutions. Yet even as diplomatic language filled the air, the harsh reality on the ground remained largely unchanged, with sporadic fighting and deep-seated mistrust undermining progress. In the end, the meeting symbolized both the promise and the peril of diplomacy conducted in an era of sharp divisions and strategic recalculations. It highlighted the complex, often frustrating nature of international negotiations, where breakthroughs are rare, setbacks are common, and outcomes are never guaranteed. Trump's presidency, marked by its dramatic highs and lows on the world stage, left behind a legacy in Ukraine that would continue to influence international relations for years to come. As history would later judge these efforts, the meeting between the U.S. Special Envoy and Russian officials would stand as a powerful reminder that in the delicate art of diplomacy, dialogue alone is not enough. It must be followed by sustained action, mutual understanding, and a commitment to principles that transcend political expediency. In a world increasingly torn between confrontation and cooperation, this moment served as a crucial, if imperfect, step on the long and difficult road to peace.